us in. We got still just a couple minutes to go before we start the session. I am recording this, so if you have to jump out and can't catch it all, don't worry, I'll have a recording available for you. But it's great to see this. What we're doing here is this is kind of what I normally do 2 times a month. I go through a coaching session, and I kind of invited everybody to join in on this to really see kind of what is the Sales Hunter University all about. I'm going to go ahead and push the record button right now just so we get started here. So bear with me here for just a moment while we do the countdown. And hey, I want to say welcome to the December 2022 coaching session, first of 2 sessions this month. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. You've joined me here in this coaching session. This one, we've kind of opened it up to everybody. We do this a couple times a year. We invite people in. And of course, this one, what I'm talking about is 8 prospecting techniques to get that pipeline filled late in the quarter. And again, what I do each 2 times a month, we kind of do a deep dive into one topic, and then we answer some questions. And again, if you're part of the Sales Hunter University, I invite people to send in questions, send them in. Now, I'm using a new software today. I've never used this software before, Reactive Suite. So you're going to see it has a different look and feel for those of you who are normally on the calls, but I'm really kind of excited about it because it really kind of allows to have a little better feel and look to it. So anyway, and I'll be anxious to get your feedback on it. Reactive Suite I think it's a pretty cool software. But anyway, let's really talk about this. Now, here's the deal. When we look at where we have to be from a sales standpoint, it really comes down to how do we get a full pipeline late in the quarter and use it then to drive the first quarter. What I see happening too frequently is salespeople fall off at the end of the quarter. And then as a result, then they have to jumpstart things to start the new year. And when they do that, it's a mess. It's a mess because what happens is they don't get going fast enough. And what happens is they wind up wasting January. I was just having lunch the other day with a VP of sales. We were discussing this, that if you missed January, you've now missed what? 8.5% of the year? Yeah, 8.5% of the year just taken off. And if you think that December is normally a tough month, that means you've got 2 of the 12 months gone. You've got almost 15% of the year gone. So I want to work past this with you. So let's kind of work through these things. Now, here's a couple of rules, and some of you may have seen this before. Don't start what you can't finish. I got this great picture of a cheeseburger there, bacon cheeseburger, double, triple, with onions and everything else on it. Now, when I was younger, I could eat a couple of these things, but I can't eat one of those today. You see, don't start what you can't finish. One of the things prospecting programs drive me crazy with is people recommend all kinds of things that you can't sustain. I'd rather do a little bit less and do it consistently than try to blast out of the chute and do a lot and have nothing work. See, what it comes down to is that trust is the currency of business. And trust is only developed through repetition. If I only see you once, you may trust me, but is that trust going to be enduring? No. See, so I got to create consistent messaging, consistent. But here's the problem. You can't take clicks and likes to the bank. Too many times when I see happening. In fact, I'm going to share with you an interesting statistic. Did you realize that LinkedIn usage actually increases in the month of December? Whoa, there's a mind-blowing thing. Yeah, it decreases in the summer because people are out and about and just doing other things and not really paying attention because they're engaged living life when the days are longer, temperature's nice, and so forth. But in December, LinkedIn usage actually increases because days are shorter and people are home a little more. And maybe it's also that people are suddenly scrambling because they say, look, I got to find a new job next year. I don't know what it is, but LinkedIn usage actually increases. But here's the temptation. The temptation is to sit there and throw out all kinds of things out on the internet, but you can't take clicks and likes to the bank. Now, I'm on the internet all the time. I'm on LinkedIn all the time, but it's part of a very calculated strategy and it's very controlled. And that's what you have to be very careful of. Okay, let's kind of jump into this. As I go through these 8 things, I got to tell you one thing right now. You do not deviate from your ideal customer profile. Do not deviate, please. When you deviate, you get into trouble because here's what happens. Here's what happens. You start falling victim to the shiny object. And I'm going to stress, you have to stay in your ICP. And this very much plays out here with the first one I'm going to share with you. Review what's in your CRM. Too many times what happens is I see salespeople saying, I need to get more leads. I need to be prospecting more. And they think they need to start over again. No, don't. I'm going through this process right now. We're doing a deep dive on myself and one of my assistants. We're doing a deep dive into my CRM system right now. And we're finding all kinds of things in there that, whoa, it's just, unfortunately, it just fell out. It just fell out. You see, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for things that are in the current pipe. Okay, hopefully you're managing those. But then what about things that were in the old pipe? In other words, you were prospecting a year ago, or maybe 6, 8, 9 months ago. You know what? You need to revive those. And then there's what I call the dead pipe. The dead pipe. Well, I never thought this would ever come to pass, so I kind of blew it off. But you know what's interesting? We all have far more prospects, viable prospects in our CRM system than we realize. And I can't. Now, some of you might be saying, hey, Mark, I don't have a CRM system. Go through your email, go through your sent messages, start going through there and dive deep. Look at who's been calling you. Look at your text messages. Look at various things. You're going to find in there things that there's prospects in there. And here's why I like doing this. They already know you. You've already gotten to first base, second base, or maybe even third base with them. So why would you not want to pick up the ball and run with them again? Yes, you do. So before you even start thinking about getting totally new stuff, work what's in there. But now, remember that previous slide I shared with you? Your ICP. This is also the time that you look through that and you say, okay, are they dead or old because they don't fit your ICP? Don't deviate from your ICP. You create maximum value from your customers. You'll create maximum worth for yourself when you stay dialed in on as tight of an ICP as possible. Those of you in the All Access program, I'm sure you've seen the program I've got in the university on ICP, how to create your ICP. Because again, and maybe you need to go back and take a look at that one again. Go through that. And again, because okay, let's get to the second one. Second one, reach out with thank you calls. This you can only, well, you could do this any time of the year, but I love this right now. We're right now in this window between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I can't stress this enough. Thank you calls are calls where you're picking up the phone and you're thanking people for their business, for their relationship, for their connection over the previous year. Now, don't do this unless you're serious. This is not some cheesy action. And don't sit there and say, well, Mark, hold it. We send out holiday cards. We send out Thanksgiving cards. We give out gift baskets. No. This is about the conversation. This is the conversation. This is gold. This has got so much gold written on it. I shared this. I was at a networking event back here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And person who was speaking said, asked all of us at our respective tables to kind of share some ideas. So I shared that idea with people at my table. They were like, wow, mind blowing. And they asked me to share it with the whole group. Yes. And these are fun because you know why? You're calling people up and you're thanking them for their business. But here's what's going to be interesting. You're going to call and thank them. You know what's going to be very interesting? The conversation's quickly going to begin to shift. And suddenly they're going to give you a referral. They're going to give you a reference. They may even share with you new opportunities. Now, how's this process work? And this is what I want. You call people and say, hey, thank you. I did this just yesterday. Called up a couple of people. One of them I got a hold of. And I was talking with him, a fairly senior level person at company. I said, hey, it's great. Hey, I really enjoyed coming in a year ago and being able to speak with you. And, we haven't had a lot of conversation over the past year, but I've been watching your business and you guys seem to be doing good and we've been doing good. And I just wanted to say thank you. And he made a comment, hey, it's great. Hey, and you know what? Yeah, it is great. And yeah, we had you in a year ago and, I need to pass some referrals over to you. Because you really helped us out. And he recommended it. And I said, oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. And it's amazing. And I make these calls. Now, here's the key thing. Keep trying until you have the live conversation. In fact, I did another one this morning to a person here in Dallas, and we actually are going to meet for breakfast Thursday morning. Boom. I love that. And I don't know where these are going to go, but it's helping me fill my pipeline. Now, probably not in the month of December, but it's going to give me opportunities going into the first quarter of the next year. Jump into number 3, existing customers. Don't think for a moment that there's not business with existing customers. Now, I've shared this on previous coaching calls, and it's the dilemma of the economy. No, it's the dilemma of a changing economy. What does this mean? A lot of businesses have had a very good year, but people are panicking. People are starting to get scared. And it happens in bigger companies first, that things begin locking up. They begin locking up budgets. They begin freezing spending. And I'll tell you, if you haven't reached out to all your big customers right now, you need to do that right when this call gets done. You need to do that, because you've got to reach out to existing customers, because there may very well be additional business that you can grab right now this month for the fourth quarter. But the reason I put this in here right now is because I want you to focus on new connections. Who are some of the new people in the organization? And again, this is the ideal time to be reaching out to them. So you're talking to an existing customer. Hey, and you guys have probably added quite a few more people, right? Oh, yeah. We opened up a couple new divisions. Oh, really? Yeah. Who's running them? I'd love to get in touch with them. And so right here in the month of December is the perfect time to be reaching out to them, because again, schedules are a little bit wonky. I've had several very high quality phone calls over the previous few weeks just because of Thanksgiving and the weird schedule it's created. So I can't stress that enough. It's how you get new divisions, new opportunities. Hey, by the way, before we get further along, those of you in the all access, don't forget that we're doing a 3-hour prospecting session this coming Friday from 10 a.m. Central Time to 1 p.m. Central Time. 3 hours. And I'm going to walk you through the 19 steps on a prospecting plan. If you're not part of all access, you can go out to the website, get signed up for it. And I've actually got a link I'll share with you, because I'll offer it to you, that 3-hour course for $99. So stay tuned. I'll share that with you at the end. Because again, we're going to walk through the whole 19 steps, got a workbook, everything. When we get done, you are going to have a prospecting plan. Okay, back on track here. I love this with existing customers, because again, they already know you. Now, let's keep moving through here. Let's talk about downstream, upstream. This one is one that now I'm going to start getting into some ones that people really haven't thought of before. I love downstream and upstream. Look at an existing customer, okay, and you say, who are the people that they interact with upstream or downstream? In other words, who are the people who interact with you, who interact with this company because they supply them with materials or they supply them with other things? That's upstream. Downstream is who are the customers that they sell to? Who are they? Now, look at that. Begin to take a look at that. Begin to understand. How do you find out? You go look at their annual reports. And you begin Googling, and you can begin to see who these upstream. And I'll give you a couple more techniques here in a bit. But this is amazing. This is a way that I get a tremendous amount of business, because birds, what is it? Birds of a flock? No, birds of a common feather flock together. I don't know what that is, but it's amazing how common people, common likes stick together. So guess what? If you like working with this customer, you're probably going to like the customers that they sell to or customers that they buy from. See, so I love this upstream, downstream. One of the techniques that I do with this is I just go out and Google. I'll go out and Google the company and begin to see who else pops up. Begin to see, where does this company's name appear on other websites or other messages, other blog posts. And I can begin to curate kind of this list of upstream, downstream. And again, very, very powerful. Now, is this going to help me fill my pipeline in the fourth quarter? It actually can, because I've done this a couple times where I've had major Fortune 100 companies that I've been working with, and I've done this and I've reached out to people And about this time of year, I did this probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago now. And I reached out and they said, yeah, hey, we need to have a conversation right now. And within a day, we had a meeting on the calendar. And within 2 weeks, we had signed a contract before the end of the year. And it was all driven because of the fact that they were downstream from this Fortune 100 company that I worked with. And they said, hey, if you're working with them, we know what you do is absolutely awesome, because they are difficult to work. They're difficult. Yeah. See how that works? So it's amazing. So don't think for a moment that you can't. Now, number 5, mid and senior level people. This one scares a lot of people, but I absolutely love it. One of the things that I find is you get down towards the end of the year, and it's going to vary by industry, but a lot of industries just pretty much shut down. They just kind of shut down in the month of December. The annual planning's done. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. And meetings, routines just don't happen. And I can pick up the phone. In fact, when we get done here, I got to make several more calls to mid and senior level people. And my objective is to do one thing. Hey, I've got time on my calendar. How's your calendar look? Let's grab time for coffee. Let's grab time for lunch. Let's grab time for breakfast. Let's just get a Zoom meeting, a Teams meeting, whatever. But I reach out to people at the tail end of the year. Now, this is why it works, because I can get into a conversation with them. And what happens is then I begin, hey, what do you see happening with the economy next year? What are the tea leaves telling you? And they begin talking. Because you ask these people what this is key. You ask them what their opinion are. You ask them what their opinion is. And they begin sharing with you. And before you know it, they're sharing with you opportunities that their company's working on. And they're sharing, hey, you know what? We need to make sure that we connect back in January or February or March, whatever it is, because we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. And it's amazing, but mid and senior level people are very, very, now you can do this with lower level people too. I mean, I'm not precluding lower level people, but I'm saying that this is one of the windows that I can grab more mid and senior level people. I live in Dallas here, and there's several CEOs and very senior level people that I'm going to be reaching out to over the next couple of days to do just that, to get meetings and hopefully meals on their calendar over the next couple of weeks. And I know I'm going to be successful. Now, number 6, LinkedIn. Okay, now here's the deal that I love doing. In fact, it's interesting. I was with an organization Friday of last week, I believe it was, and we were talking about this. And it was amazing because the strategy is that you go out to LinkedIn and you look at your competitors. Okay. Look at who your competitors are. Go out to their profiles, go out to their pages and see who they're interacting with. See who what is this going to tell you? This is going to tell you who potentially, who your competitors are. This is going to tell you who maybe other people you can get in touch with. But what this does is, I always say, stay within your circle. Stay in your circle. And your circle includes your competitors. Now, you can also do this with your customers. Again, because it works on that upstream, downstream thing. But I can take 20 minutes, 30 minutes in an evening. Yes, in an evening. Don't waste your selling time during the day doing this. Do it in the evening. So go out to LinkedIn and begin looking at some of these people. Now, does this mean you automatically start, connecting with them and trying to pitch them? No. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to identify them and I'm going to start following them. And I'm probably going to be chiming in, just adding some comments as they post. In other words, I'm getting into their circle. I'm getting into their circle. And then as some dialogue begins to be created, then I can begin to reach out and say, hey, let's grab a conversation. Let's have a phone call. Powerful approach. Now, this is not going to help you win in the fourth quarter, but it's going to set you up with real opportunities in the first quarter. Let's look at number 7, email with free download. This is sneaky. Wow, did I say sneaky? Yes, I did. Okay, what you do here is this. You take your email list and you send them out. Excuse me, you email people with an absolute free download. No requirement. You just give them a URL to let them go out and download something. Now, this is what's key. And I like doing this the last 2 weeks of the year. Here's the deal. If they download this, you got to be watching. Because again, now you got to have the systems in place where you can see who downloads it. Okay. But if they download it, man, you immediately call them. You immediately call them. Because what's that tell you? They're working. See, remember how the last couple of weeks of the year, people are taking holidays and people aren't working? Yeah, you're right. This is a way that you ferret out very quickly who's working and who's not working. This one's a game. It's sneaky, but it's great. It's powerful. There's no sign-in requirement. There's no nothing. You just put the URL in there, and there may be a download for a 2-page document, 3-page document, 4-page document. And you can do this a couple times the last couple of weeks of the year. The key is you got to be sitting on top of your system. And when you see them download it, you got to pick up the phone and call it. Hey, I just know, and go ahead and call it out. Hey, I just noticed that you downloaded this. Just saw it. So I thought I'd give you a buzz, because chances are, because they may only be working for a few hours a day that last couple of weeks of the year. But I love this approach. And you can do it a couple times. Here's the other thing. Even if they don't pick up the phone and talk to you, they've got something from you that I can follow up with on for the next week. This is an idea that, yeah, I use the word sneaky, but boy, it works. It works great. Okay, number 8, phone call, but no messages. Yeah, here's the thing. Starting now, I'm still leaving voicemail messages if I'm calling people right now this week. But as we get deep into December, especially the last 2 weeks, about the last 2.5 weeks, I do not leave messages. Here's why. A lot of people are out of the office. And last thing they want to have is a voicemail message from somebody they really don't know, because it's going to fill up their inbox. So what I'm going to do is I'm active on the telephone. I am active on the telephone, but I'm not leaving messages. Because you know what? If they're on vacation for a week or two, do you think they're going to have me on their list to call back? No, it's not going to happen. You see, I put this number 8 because it fits in well with that previous one, fits in well with that mid and senior level manager. Because again, if I'm calling a mid to senior level manager and I'm not getting them, am I leaving a voicemail? No. Right now I am, but starting in another week, I'm not. No. Because again, I want to respect them if they're taking time off. But this is a key thing. Now, here's a couple bonus plays. And again, I want to call your attention to the thing I'm doing Friday, the 3-hour thing. I do hope everybody gets signed up for it. If you're the all access people, you've been getting emails on it. 10 a.m. Central Time to 1 p.m. And it's how to build out your prospecting plan. I want to walk you through the 19 steps. If you're not an all access member, jump out to my website. I'll put a URL up here in just a bit. Then you go out to it's $99. It's well worth it. You know what's crazy? This is what's funny. Some of you are laughing already, all of you who are the all access. Because if you buy the all access, it's only $89 a month and you get access to everything. So, why would I pay $99 for one event? Yeah, you're right. That's why I say, just get the all access. It's just the easiest thing to do. And you can either get it on the annual where you save even more or get that. But anyway, I'll come back to here's the situation on messages and phone calls. What am I attempting to do? I'm trying to create as much engagement. Now, when I do get engagement, I am calling people out right now. What's your calendar look like tomorrow? Remember how I made the comment that today is Tuesday? I emailed a person this morning, then we talked, and we have breakfast scheduled for Thursday morning. In other words, I said, what's your calendar look like this week? I don't let things drag out. I do not let things drag out. Because then what happens is they go, well, let's just touch base in January. I don't want to touch base in January. If they say, let's touch base in January, then I say, great, January 3rd, 10 a.m. Now, January 2nd is going to be a holiday because it's a Monday. Okay. January 1st is on a Sunday. So we'll celebrate, the bowl games and everything are on the 2nd. But the third, okay, game on. You don't sit there and say, well, why don't you call me after the first year? No, book the date, and book the date the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th. Because I want to come in. I have found that if I come into the year with meetings on my calendar, I'm a lot more excited. I'm feeling jazzed. I'm feeling really good. Okay, now I just went through with you the 8 things. Now I want to go through 3 questions. Every time I do a coaching session, there are questions I go through, and I usually take 3, and we kind of line them up here. And the 3 questions I'm going to answer here for you. How much of a discount should I offer to how much of a discount should I offer to close a deal at the end of the year? 2, I've made my number for the year. How do I handle customers who still want to buy? Oh man, this drives me crazy. Does prospecting even make sense the last couple of weeks of the year? Okay, let's jump into these, and then I'm going to show you that URL to get that $99 3-hour deal this coming Friday. And if you can't make it Friday, still get it, because there'll be the workbook and the recording will still all be very much available for you. Okay, how much of a discount should I offer to close a deal at the end of the year? Here's the deal. This, I know the person who sent this into me happens to be in SaaS, software as a service. Software as a service has a very low COGS, very low cost of goods sold. So it's not unusual for them to sit there and discount to 60, 70, 80%. And it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. But they can't. Here's the deal. Once you start offering discounts at the end of the year, you will be offering discounts at the end of every year. And I can't stress this. Now, you can sit there and have a blanket. Hey, we do a blanket 20% off, or we do a blanket 30% off, whatever it might be. Fine. And you do it every year in the month of December. That's fine, but that's consistent. But you got to make sure that's baked into your price. I am not, the level of my discount is going to be dictated by what the CFO of my company is going to tell me to do, because I'm going to let them make the decisions regarding pricing. As a salesperson, you do not make pricing decisions at the end of the year. Even if you have the authority to, no, check with, because your company has financial numbers they need to hit. I want to work with them. So how much of a discount? I don't believe in any discount at all, because again, I'm helping you achieve an outcome. 2, if I do offer a discount, it is a blanket discount that I offer every year during the month of December. So I'm conditioned for it, but I'm not trying to get hooked on opioids to where I'm sitting here doing this every year and just doing a bigger and bigger discount. 3, I'm ultimately allowing my CFO to determine it, because I work with some SaaS companies and they're already talking that they're going to do 60, 70, 80, 85% off here in the month of December, because they need it to make their target. Because again, SaaS companies are driven by private equity, venture capital money. It's a completely different ballgame. So you got to be careful of the industry you're in. Okay, that was a weird answer, I know, but it's a very complex question. And the person who sent me this question, we had probably about a half-hour phone call on this the other day. So if you're struggling with this one, give me a call. Let's talk. Okay, all access members, if you're in TSHU, please call me. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the second one. I made my number for the year. How do I handle customers who still want to buy? Hey, look, idiot. I'm going to call you out, idiot. You better help them out. You better sell, because here's the whole thing. You may have made your number, but has your boss made their number, and has your company made their number? I look at it this way. I want to finish the year as strong as possible. If I'm going to blow the number out of the saddle, that's fine. But you know what that does? That makes me feel really, really good. I live in Dallas, Texas. Okay. The Cowboys played a game. I'm not a Cowboys fan. Don't go there with me. Okay. Cowboys scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. Most points they've ever scored ever in the fourth quarter. So you might say they ended the game well. And you know what? They're going to be jazzed going into this next week's game. You finish the year strong, and it makes you even more successful for next year. You never turn down business, because here's the whole thing. You may have made your number, but I had this one time. I was a sales manager, I was leading a sales team, and I had some salespeople who had made their number and they shut down. And as a result of them shutting down, I missed my number. And I was the VP of sales. Not good. And believe me, I changed the compensation program where that could never happen again. And those people were on my dark list forever, forever, ever, ever. You power up and you drive through. 3, does prospecting even make sense the last couple of weeks? Yes, it does. Come on, people. Here's the whole thing. I know industries. I know there are different industries. I get it. I get it. There are some industries that are going full throttle right now, and there are other industries. But here's the whole thing. The best time to prospect is right now, regardless of the industry. I say this regarding Monday mornings. I say this regarding Friday afternoons. I say this regarding every time of the year. What I like about prospecting the last couple of weeks of the year is this. Schedules are right. This is why I like the telephone, really, the last couple of weeks of the year. I like the telephone Thanksgiving week and the last couple of weeks of the year, because schedules are all over the place. I can't stress this enough. Don't think that prospecting doesn't work. Hey, I hope whoever gave me this question has been watching has been watching this coaching session, or is going to catch the replay, because I shared with you 8 strategies, 8 techniques to help you be successful. Yeah. Okay, what have I been doing here? I've been walking you through this whole piece, and it's what I do twice a year. We got a lot of people on this call, which is mind blowing, because we always wind up with 5, 6 times that number catching the replay. But here's the deal. This Friday, building your prospecting plan, 19 steps. You're going to get a workbook. You're going to get everything. It's Friday, December 9th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. Okay, this is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. Okay, I'm going to be answering a whole host of questions, like, wow, I can't type, can I? What's the optimal cadence? How many times do I try to reach a prospect? How do I create CTAs? The prospect will value. How do I keep it? There are so many steps I'm going to walk you through that when you get done here, you're going to have a template. Now, in 3 hours, you will not have been able to complete all the work as we go through it, but you will literally have the action plan that you need to put together an amazing prospecting plan for you to kick off the next year. Yeah, I can't stress this enough. Hey, there's the URL. Okay, now here's the deal. It's $99 for just that course, or it's free to all access members. And of course, like I said earlier, it's what's crazy. Yeah, I knew what I was doing, because I really want you to get the all access. You can get the all access for $89 a month, or $699 for the year. So yeah, that's great. But anyway, that's coming up on Friday of this week. In fact, I'm going to be doing another one of these sessions in 2 weeks. Yeah. In fact, I'm just about ready to make the commitment to be doing 1 3-hour session every month. Not quite there yet. We're still working through the calendar. But here's the whole thing. When you do get all access, well, go out to the website, university, click on that. You're going to see all the stuff that you get, all the programs, everything, because all access gives you everything. Here's the deal. My focus is to do this. I want to help you out with the 3 C's: continuity, competence, and confidence. Because again, when you achieve those 3, it's amazing what happens. And you got to own it. You got to own it. Prospecting is not something you can give to somebody else. Prospecting you have to own. And I try to make it as simple. Prospecting doesn't have to be complicated. It does not have to be complicated. It's really a lot easier than people think. If you just have a very systematic approach and you keep it absolutely simple. So here's that URL again. Okay, I apologize, it's long. If you're confused on it, just call me or email me, mark@thesalescenter.com. Hey, if you're tied up Friday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., I totally get it. You'll get the replay. You'll still get the workbook. You will get all of that. What have I been doing here today? I've been sharing with you strategies to help you be successful. Because I care, man, I absolutely care. I want you to jump out, grab the all access right now. Just do it right now. Just go get the all access. Because the whole library, in fact, it's interesting. My assistant loaded another, I don't know, 30, 40 prospecting videos out on the site. And it's incredible. It's incredible what you get there. But anyway, but I do want, and I've had a couple of people say, hey, Mark, is the content in all access the same as what you talk about on the podcast? No. The podcast, you know, my podcast, the Sales Hunter podcast, that's totally different content. So I really do. And I believe I need to do that because I got to be authentic. And otherwise I'd be cheating you if all I'm doing is taking stuff I'm posting over here on YouTube, or I'm posting over here and throwing it out behind a paywall. No, that's not right. So you get the good stuff. But anyway, we'll be doing another coaching session here in a couple of weeks. So, hey, I hope this has been beneficial. I want you to take advantage. I want you to take advantage of the program this Friday. Yeah, the workbook is mind-blowing. It's 19 steps. We're going to go through this in 3 hours, 19 steps. I guarantee it. In fact, my assistant already told me. She said, Mark, you're expecting to be, I said, yeah. In fact, my marketing person, everybody on my staff has said, there's no way you're going to be able to deliver it. Yeah, I know, but we're going to go through it. And then all of their courses help you dive down deeper and deeper into it. But that's why I like the Sales Hunter University. Hey, has this been beneficial? I sure hope so. I'm using a new software here, so it's been a little difficult for me to get the chat, so I apologize. I'm going to try to get out of the chat here. Let me see if I can do this here. Let me see if I can get out of the chat here and see what we have here. There's the chat. There's some chat there. So on point 2, thank you calls. Do you recommend leaving a message if that call goes to voicemail? I would think yes. I actually don't. And the reason being is because I want to have a conversation. If after I call them a couple times and I don't get them, then I will leave. Then I will leave a message. The other one is how do you drive urgency to close deals this month when you hear from a customer that they want to wait till next year? Yeah, I'll tell you what you're going to do is you're going to say these couple things. Hey, I'm not sure what our inventory position is going to be next year, and I want to make sure that you get what you need. So that's one strategy. Second strategy is this. Our company does a great job of getting orders out at the end of the year. But I'll tell you what, always the first year, it's Murphy's Law comes into play. Yeah, what you're trying to do is you're trying to scare people into doing it right now. You are trying to scare people into it. Now, there may be a deal that you can work out with your finance department to where they can buy it, but then pay for it next year. In other words, understand from the customer, understand from you yourself, what is it that you're looking for? Because if I can get credit, I know a lot of salespeople, they get credit for an order this year, even though the customer doesn't pay for it next year because it's 2%, or its terms are net 30. So basically anything purchased now is going to be net 30, could be after the first year. Look at what your terms are. Take advantage of that. Joey, would any of your advice today change if it was B2C? Most of the advice today? No, it really would not. No, absolutely the same. Yeah, great question. Thank you, Joey. Thank you for asking me. It really doesn't change. Now, phone calls the last couple of weeks of the year can get a little more wonky, but still, I can make thank you calls. I can use LinkedIn. I can use, if I'm B2C, maybe I'm going to be doing Facebook. Maybe I'm going to be doing Instagram. But every one of these strategies, sometimes you just have to tweak it a little bit, but I'm still going to use it. The free download, believe me, that's gold at the end of the year, B2C. Because again, I don't know if people are really paying attention. So if I can give them a free offer and they download it, and I can quickly follow up with a phone call 2 minutes later. Oh, but Mark, that's stalking. Hey, those days are long past. People know people are watching them when they're out on the web. So go ahead and make that call. It's not stalking. Hey, I just happened to notice that you downloaded that. Great. Love to ask you a couple questions. Have that come. So the same things apply. So great. Thank you on that. Hey, Great group, man. We got to do more of these calls. I got to offer. Well, no, I really can't, because again, that's the tribute, or that's why we have this sales center university. But like I said, a couple times a year, we do open this thing up. Take advantage, please. Take advantage of the sales center university and that program. Let me see if I can put it back up here on the screen here. Apologize, I'm learning how to use this new software. There it is. Go out, get that purchase right now, so you take advantage. So I'll see you at 10 a.m. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Center. Absolutely terrific. I want you to finish the year strong, because you know what? Sales is without a doubt the greatest profession. In fact, it's not a profession, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. Because we get to help people see and achieve what they didn't think was possible. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter. We'll see you later. Thanks so much. Take care. Hey, Joey, if you're still online, thanks again. Love your advice. My company's new to residential construction sales. Any recent experience with sales help for companies like mine? If not, hey, email me, would you, Mark at the Sales Center. Let's talk, because I have recently just had some experience there. Okay. Hey, thanks so much, man. Take care.